Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the Pony Podcast. Today we have got Lorna Edgar with us, who's a nutritionist for Baileys Horse Feeds.
We are recording live from Badminton Horse Trials.
Very excited. So thank you, Lorna, for taking time to talk to us.
You're very welcome.
On a nice quiet Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the first question, which we ask everyone. Were you a member of the Pony Club, and if so, which branch?
Unfortunately, I wasn't.
No.
Okay, I know. I never had my own horse or pony, so I left home at 17 and went to work with them instead. So
Take what you can get.
Exactly.
Poor you. Poor you. What was it that made you interested in equine nutrition?
After working with horses as a groom for about 10 years, I went to go and do my degree, and being able to relay the nutrition modules back to my practical experience I found really interesting, and that's where it all started really, and how you can relate the two and just be more scientific and
What made you decide to take that step?
I thoroughly enjoyed working with the horses, but I knew I didn't want to do it forever. And
We'll get to that point, I think.
I did, and I got to 25 and I was like, ooh, what am I going to do next? And that's when I started looking into doing, because I didn't do particularly well at school, so I looked at sort of doing evening classes to try and get onto a degree course, which I don't
And especially working with horses, like as a groom, you work so closely with them. It must have been so interesting being able, like, understanding, like, how what you put into them affects them and being able to see that every day.
Yeah, absolutely, it really does. And feeding is definitely part of that. And how you can change them and their performance. And I wish I knew what I know now back then.
It's always a thing.
So
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So how did you qualify as a nutritionist?
So I literally did my equine science degree at Hartbury, and then applied for a job at Baileys, which I saw in Horse and Hounds, and that they just needed equine science because I had the practical experience as well. They were wanting somebody to go out onto yards, which I'm very happy to do.
So they qualified you, Baileys?
So you just sort of learn utilising products, and they send you off on lots of conferences to keep up to date with research.
Yeah, that's so good.
And how long would their extra help with training last? Or do they just send you off from the beginning with someone watching you?
Yeah, we do a lot of that. We do a lot of shadowing with people. I spent the first year probably more, first 2 years I was office based, and then I started doing more and more travelling. So then I sort of relocated to be in central England. And you're just sort of working very closely with Liz Bulbrook, who's our Director of Nutrition, and so,
What does your average day as a nutritionist look like?
Well, mine's probably quite different to those involved in office-based work. So I would be up at 8, I leave the house at 8 o'clock, and I have an area, I don't have an area, so I could be going to the southwest, I could be going to Surrey, Sussex, so generally 2 hours, 2.5 hours driving. Try and fit in about
a lot of driving,
a lot of driving. You've got to love a car.
Some good
Gotta have a nice car.
I'm saving up for a helicopter. A lot of driving, but I try and fit in about 3 or 4 yards a day, depending on how much time I've got. And then home at anything between 5 and 7.
What do you like most about your job?
I love working with the horses. I love seeing new horses come into yards and seeing the change to them. And I love working with people that are really keen to work with you. And
do you get to follow them through their journey, if you like when they first move to Baileys and as they go through?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
So nice.
So some of the riders I work with, thinking of eventing whilst we're here at Badminton, I've worked with them for sort of Georgie spent for 16 years.
My goodness.
So I've seen her horse Woody arrive, or Wee Limbo. He arrived at the yard as a 4-year-old, and I've seen him through his journey as a 4-star horse, 5-star horse.
Following her career, like, you obviously must get to know the riders quite well, and being able to follow her career all the way to she's not here with Wee Limbo, she's here with Horton Harley, but being able to follow her and support her all the way
and
through.
it's quite an emotional build up to it, and you just like, so it is.
Yeah.
Big thing.
What sort of thing do you look for when, say, Georgie brought a new horse in, to assess what the horse should be eating?
The first thing as I walk into a stable or see a horse in front of me is top line.
Okay.
Very much looking at top line. I think it can tell you a multitude of things, how that horse has worked, how it's been fed in the past perhaps. I also will take into account how perhaps tucked up, how hollow they might be. It could be telling you more about their personality, if they're sort of quite uptight. And then on the nutritional, sort of on the feed side of it, I'd be looking at the quality of the hay or the haylage. You sort of have a good glance at that when you're in the stable, how much is there, you know, and how much.
Whether they're eating it or just leaving it.
Absolutely. So, those would be the key areas when I first look at a horse.
I know we're at Badminton today.
Yes.
But do you only visit event yards, or do you see horses from other disciplines?
I see across the board. So I'm really fortunate. I do eventing, show jumping, dressage. I do an awful lot in polo because I was a polo groom before, so I have
That's intense.
quite a bit of background knowledge and so in polo, and then I'll do, if I get asked to go into racing studs, I will, but primarily I'd be sort of around your performance.
How do the needs of the different horses in those disciplines differ?
I think with perhaps event horses, you need the stamina, you need controllable energy. I think you need all the different types of energy sources, and then the amount of work that they have to do at this level to get to that point. So you're wanting to give them the calories as well. Whereas a polo pony, for instance, is more quick release energy.
They swap in and out quite quickly.
And they do, yeah. So, their time is a lot shorter, their performance time. But they play a lot. So whereas, say, a racehorse is running every 2 weeks, polo pony could be playing 4 or 5 times a week. So they have an awful lot of work. So you have to take that into consideration as well. So the different disciplines, yes, you are looking at different types of diets.
If you've got riders that have horses at the top level, would you keep to routine visits, or would you try and tie in visits with them coming up to a big event?
I try, again, going back to the likes of Georgie, because I've known her for quite a long time, she has quite an understanding of our product. She'll always phone or message if there's a problem, but with the build up to Badminton, I'll try and get to see her sort of 2 or 3 times at least from February till now, and then it's just sort of building up.
What's the most common feeding myth that people believe?
Protein is an energy source. Protein can send them crazy. That's a good one. Perhaps with your more sort of competition riders, that forage can make them heavy, which is a term I really don't. Quite often you'll get people trying to feed more of something to try and increase weight and condition rather than feeding the right type of product. So
I think we've all done that, haven't we?
Exactly.
What's one thing that you wish you'd learned sooner? This is one question we ask to everyone.
Do you mean before I started working at
Anything up to now. It can be related to feed that you wish you knew when you were a groom.
I wish when I was a groom, I wish I knew that people like myself are available, and it's free, and you can just go out there and get more support. You don't have to be on your own. Trying to
work out
what's right and what's wrong.
It's an absolute, like, having, so I obviously just moved to Harry Mead, so I had to move my horse on to Dodgson Hart, which is what all his are on. And there's so much, even just within that range, there's so many different feeds that kind of look like they're doing the same thing, but kind of don't, and you just have no idea what it is.
The one that gets me is the number of children I teach, that you ask the type of feed, and they look at it and they go, oh well, it's Baileys Endurance Mix. And you're like, well, yes, that's what it is in the packet.
Because you can read it.
Because you can read it, but do you actually know what it does?
Exactly. And I think there's a lot of marketing which can kind of make it confusing for the end user. And again, picking up the phone for help can really set you in the right direction for what your horse needs. So definitely.
Okay.
So last question. What's one bit of kit that you couldn't live without?
Now, I was thinking about this. I was thinking, would it be my car? Because actually I wouldn't get anywhere. But then I'm a bit old-fashioned, and do you know what? It's going to be pen and paper.
Really?
Yes, you always have your notebook with you.
I do. You and Alex. The same way.
Yeah, I'm a notebook person.
I try and take notes, and I whip my phone out, and Alex is there like, I'm ready.
By the time I put my password in, I'm going to get onto my phone. No, notepad and paper. Sorry, pen and paper is definitely my go-to.
And
yes, you say that, but I forgot a pen today, and I really struggled.
I've got one. Do you need one to borrow?
No.
I always make sure that I have at least 3, because then you have one to lose, one to break, and one to use.
But you don't use paper, so why do you need pens?
Just in case. Because you can always find a bit of paper. Like, there's always a bit of paper somewhere lying around, or you can write on your hand. But I always make sure I have a pen in my bag somewhere. But I'm one of those people who I like being the organised one, because I'm so used to being disorganised. So like in my bag there's like a little mini first aid kit. So I've got like plasters and stuff. I've got ibuprofen. I've got paracetamol. I've got lip balm just in case. I've probably got I've got some perfume in there just in case. Just in case like a royal arrives and I have to smell nice. Like, I'm that person who's like, I like to be covered for as and have gum in case I don't know, in case I end up at the bar later and I don't make it home.
Somebody else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
If anyone wants to find out more about nutrition or to get advice, where would they contact you?
Well, obviously, working for Baileys, you can go onto the Baileys website, and from there you can put in feed inquiry forms that you can fill out, and then I think all our phone numbers are on there as well, too, depending on where you live.
Just give a ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys are all on social media as well, aren't you? So they can find you on Instagram and Facebook.
Absolutely.
Easy. Thank you so much.
Cool.
A perfect start to our badminton interview.
Oh, it's lovely to see you both.
All right. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.